Here's the carburetor. After going through it, I decided I'm gonna go with an Amazon carburetor. If the Amazon carburetor doesn't work, I'm eventually gonna upgrade the carburetor on my 1977 F-150. So I'll take the Motocraft 2150 off of that, throw it on the Bronco if the Amazon one's not good. But there's a few reasons why I decided to just go with a new carburetor. The choke on this one works only with the ventilation system through the intake. So as this heats up, it'll turn the choke off. But this is just crusty. I mean, it's bad. It's not usable. So the new one will have this. I'll block this off. And then there is that electronic choke wire. So I'll put that on. This choke vacuum system is not working. This is the diaphragm in here is broken. The butterflies are not adjusted right anyway. Nothing on this carb is adjusted right. So I'm just gonna start fresh and just go from there. But I mean, this hose is also going to that same plate on the motor. So I'll be able to put a block off on the new one here and here, and then I'm gonna just build that plate for the Bronco on the intake. New Amazon carb showed up. Butterflies are way out of adjustment. I'm gonna reset the throttle screw, the idle screw. Gonna double check that all of my adjustments are within spec. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the quality. But I'll get this set up and we'll go put it on the truck. Here's the EGR spacer plate. I took the EGR valve off. That's this here. That's what caused this gasket to be burnt up. And the gasket is cracked and broken, so need a new one of those. And I'm gonna build a plate for this, and then we should be good to go. We're back on the Bronco. I got block off plates made. I got a new carburetor. I got fuel lines. We got all sorts of stuff. And best of all, we're in the shop. We got the ceiling up, so hopefully I can get some new spark plugs in, get the carburetor on, and get it fired up and running. First block off plate is the choke heater. Goes right next to the carburetor. New carburetor has choke heater assist, but it has fully electronic choke. So we're just gonna use the electronic choke and plug off the choke heater on the carb. We have the heater choke blocked off. I got my first layer of gasket down. I had to cut it up a little bit, just around the studs. I'm a little worried about this gasket not being able to take much heat, so I put heat temp on here, so it'll still burn right in here, just like the old fiber one did, but I think it'll be all right. Here's the other block off I made. It's just the EGR block off, so now this plate will be able to be put on, and then I'll be able to put the carburetor on. Amazon carb fits really good. Only concerns are getting behind this block off plate for the vacuum line on the Advance. I need to run a vacuum line to the brake booster, and I think that's all I'm gonna do for vacuum lines to start. I know there's a lot of debate as to whether the vacuum Advance should be hooked up to the intake or to the carburetor. I was gonna hook it up to the carburetor, but it's already plumbed in pretty good to the intake, so I'm just gonna cap off this T and call it good. So what I got going on is I got the 5/16 plumbed into the fuel filter. I use a boat pump, just a hand pump, so I think it gets us to about that 6 pounds PSI that the standard pump would get us to. And it fits really nice and snug in this little fuel can, so that's what we got going on. At first it was pumping really easy, and now it's rock hard, which tells me the float does work, and so it's blocking off the fuel. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just fires right up. I'm gonna finish this side of the spark plugs, and then we'll get it going. Not terrible. Got the hard side done, now onto the easy side. Well, I just pulled out the very last one, which of course was the hardest one somehow, and it's wet. I don't know if I can get the camera to pick it up. There we go. It's wet, so maybe before I wasn't getting fuel down into the cylinders, and now I'll fix the spark plug wires, and maybe I'll turn it over. It'll fire right up. Maybe that's too wishful thinking, but we're gonna try it. Take my trusty key, put it in the hole. Dead battery sounds good to me. We put a diesel battery in. The other one was just about dead. Trying to figure out why the starter's not starting very happy, and it's probably because this starter cable is just about donezo. So I'm gonna see about pulling this apart, pulling off the battery cable. Hopefully I didn't destroy my remanufactured starter, but we'll get a new line run up to the battery. But I think we got this thing going. I ended up putting a new ground wire on, just this little 15-inch piece. The other one was fine, but I had this one laying around, so I just put it on. And then I ran a new wire down to the starter. I just kept cranking them and cranking them. They were getting a little hot, and I know this battery is fully charged, so I think that's going to help it turn over a little faster, help us clear this whole thing out. We have all the wires put back to the way they were, the original way. We have all brand new spark plugs. We have a cylinder that's now getting wet, which was cylinder 8. So we know we're getting fuel from the carburetor down in there. So if there's a rat's nest or whatever, it's just about gone through if we're getting wet cylinders. So I think I'm gonna give it one more squirt, and this might be it. Got my fingers crossed. I really hope it is. Oh baby, we're on the right track. Oh baby. It ran just for a second. Just a little bit of smoke in the shop. Smells like rat pee. Rat pee is what's firing this motor up. So we got the ball hard again. We'll give it a few pumps here, and let's see if that does anything. I might have to keep pumping this as we're starting, but it might be all right. So you heard it run there a little bit. It's backfiring. I confirmed all the electronics are good to go. So I don't know, it could be something in the tailpipe. Maybe we got some blockage or something. So we're gonna try firing it up and just revving the heck out of it, see if we can blow something out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it all blew out of the exhaust. All back in there. Oh, that is rat piss. All this blew out of the muffler. Here's a few shots from the inside of the motor. I caught these with the borescope. The motor seems to be in pretty good shape. There's a little spider there, but truck runs good now. Next step is to get the brakes running and hopefully be able to drive this thing around. All right, thanks for watching.